Welcome to ES Ascension News for April 2015. Our theme for this month, Single Soul Occupancy. Dear Ascending Family, we live in a multi-dimensional world with every kind of spirit force one could imagine. With each successive portal opening, membranes that are used to separate realities are collapsing, and more beings are sharing space with us. There are new levels of support for those of us on the ascending path with this understanding and context. This newsletter will serve as an entity primer, discussing the necessity of single soul occupancy with some suggested tools for spiritual deliverance. The good news is that recent changes in the architecture have made the extraction of parasites and negative entities that have been plaguing this planet much easier. Since December's major portal opening, we have undergone sequential events that have radically shifted the universal geomantic structure. This is the architecture linking celestial bodies, constellations, and stars with our planet. During the Easter weekend, transmissions activated the planetary body to communicate with the intelligent living matrix of the Canis Major constellation and Sirius star system. This activated previously dormant or corrupted communication links and ley line networks into the planetary body. These new links cannot be circumvented by alien machinery or their synthetic timelines. These triad communication networks are analogous to dropping a new intergalactic wireless internet hookup from Sirius B and the massive Sirius Sun into the planetary body. The main axis of this network was placed in the 33rd North Parallel line and is intended as a support for starseeds that work the grids in service to the cosmic sovereign law. Additionally, this new network supports progress with the alien invasion problem, located in the equator line of the planet, with an infestation of nests and phantom wormholes. This is significant because this is a demarcation point in the war over consciousness, memories that relate to the future timelines of evolution of the human race on this planet. This planet has been in a war over consciousness memories, where the truth of human evolution histories have been erased. This has been done by multiple competing species, with attempts to completely destroy historical records in the timelines through the negative alien agenda groups. This phase will reveal more in-depth extraterrestrial involvement with our planet and with humanity. This means that all issues relating to alien mind control, hybridization, abduction, military programs such as MyLabs and secret space programs abusing technology, galactic history, underground bases, and the many species interacting with us will be ramped up to the next level of disclosure. We are entering potentially explosive timelines with extraterrestrial disclosure, which open into this year and ongoing into 2017. As we learn more about multiple species agendas, we must improve energetic discernment of the variety of forces that we interact with. These are both seen and unseen forces that take advantage of our lack of awareness. Because we are awakening from the dark eon of alien hybridization, which is the primary reason for the imprisonment of our consciousness, we must shake off these parasites and reclaim our sovereign right to single soul occupancy. We are providing a basic primer to address the most common issues of parasitism that are the result of alien hybridization, implantation, and genetic manipulation of the consciousness of the human being. Once informed, any person may be empowered to identify and terminate the source of spiritual oppression. Through the law of consent, we can remove its access and influence upon our spiritual bodies. In order to be spiritually freed from mind control and energetic possession, we must comprehend the necessity of commanding our right to sovereign single soul occupancy within our body and energetic aura. The original blueprint for all who incarnate into human bodies on this planet is single soul occupancy. Alien implantation is reptilian ownership. Many people on this earth carry an assortment of fragments, attachments, ancestral beings, alien implants, fallen angelics, and potentially one or more alien hosts as a result of hybridization, miasma, karmic bloodlines, or alien abduction. Mind control programming and their holographic inserts allow the consciousness body of the individual to be infiltrated through the energetic signature of the alien implant. Mind control programs enforced through alien implantation and their entity attachments or possessions are two sides of the same coin. The energetic signature of the alien implant will depend on the genetic and consciousness relationship that person has to the entity that has placed the implant in their human target. Many of these entities believe that humans are their personal property, so the alien implant will have specific information from the extra-dimensional source of the species that have laid claim to that individual, family line, or group. The mindset of the reptoids and other invading species of the negative alien agenda is that humans are their personal property, to be used as a resource that serves their domination agenda. The degree to which they perform benevolent actions towards humans is the degree to which that action serves their enslavement agenda. Overall, they are calculating liars and masterful deceivers and will say anything the human wants to hear in order to manipulate the results to serve their agenda. Like a farmer that may tend to a sick cow in the herd, it is so he can get more milk out of the cow and continue to make money from his farm. This is similar to the collective thought form of the negative alien groups, who consider human beings as a portion of their overall portfolio of investments. Multiple occupants equals soul possession. Through the law of consent, it is your sovereign right to command your space and demand single soul occupancy in your body, mind, and consciousness. Single soul occupancy is the original soul matrix design for the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensions that unite these three layers into one wholly merged and integrated consciousness within your physical body. Many people on this earth are not soul single occupied and have multiple occupants, soul fragments, attachments, or entities hosting them. How has this happened? The hidden agendas of multiple invading extra-dimensional species include hybridization programs, breeding programs, genetic modification, and manipulation of human DNA. The manipulation of human DNA works both for the genetic enhancement of the preferred bloodlines that are hybridized with primarily reptilian genetics, while others are genetically digressed and dumbed down to be a working slave class. Whether a person is abducted and subsequently genetically altered with enhancements to perform certain roles, or digressed in order to be made a spiritual zombie, both methods of genetic modification are the result of the invading species agenda to completely dominate Earth resources. Humans are grouped into the planetary resources as slave labor, replicated into clones, imaged into future synthetic holograms, or used as bargaining tools with other species. As an example, children are coveted for abduction and sold on and off planet for sexual slavery by these negative alien groups. This is why sexual slavery is a global epidemic and will not improve until humans realize that the sexual misery programs and pedophilia are sourcing from the negative alien agenda. This is not human. The primary species that are supported by human hybridization through alien abduction and alien genetic manipulation are varieties of reptoid and insectoid species. Military controllers prefer enhancements with reptilian genetics because the reptoid species have higher psionic abilities, which include remote viewing, astral projection, and shape-shifting. From many years of bloodline and genetic manipulation, many family lines that are subjected to alien abduction and genetic experimentation are recruited into the military for a variety of covert operations. This includes MILABs and secret space programs that are ultimately designed to support the archontic deception and negative alien agendas. This is to further enforce human enslavement and thus impose complete ownership over all human beings. Many humans on the earth today are the result of alien hybridization and, as such, have a genetic predisposition that allows them to be a host body for a variety of extra-dimensional entities. When a human has been genetically modified by an alien species, it allows that body to be used as a portal for that alien consciousness. It does not matter what kind of hybridization has occurred. Every being has the right to command single soul occupancy and learn how to rehabilitate their consciousness as a God sovereign free being. The key is practicing the law of one and healing the predator mind that you were downloaded with. What is MILAB? This is short for military abduction. One level of MILAB is deceitful military operations performed to convince the targets of the operation that they have had an encounter with extraterrestrial beings, which was actually a staged ploy. Other MILABs are legitimate alien abductees that are kidnapped, trained, and utilized as deep black operatives by elements of the military intelligence community for a variety of purposes, including secret space programs. The MILABs are generally militarized cooperative programs working with multiple invading species of extradimensionals, such as reptilians, that are interested in harvesting Earth resources. Some of their interests include human slave labor, genetic hybridization, breeding programs, sexual slavery, and other purposes serving their invasion agenda. Many MILABs are alien abductees that have been genetically enhanced or augmented with hybridized alien genetics to generate a variety of higher sensory perception abilities that are used for covert military operations. Some MILABs with high psionic abilities are trained to be astral operators and can be sent anywhere in the astral plane, above ground or underground. In surface military operations, command and control ships in airborne platforms, relay instructions to ground personnel, and serve as communication links between headquarters and troops on the ground. Astral operators that remote view are used in similar ways, serving as communication links via their consciousness projection to a variety of locations. There are a number of military programs that are running in parallel, although the training and operations are similar, because all branches of the military service, Army, Navy, and Air Force, have hidden control sections of the MILABs. DARPA is the organization that holds onto the high-level deep black MILAB projects. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency is an agency of the U.S. Department of Defense, responsible for the development of emerging technologies for use by the military. DARPA was created in 1958 as the Advanced Research Projects Agency by President Dwight D. Eisenhower, the father of the secret space programs. Most of the abductions, augmentations, and injections are performed by outside doctors far away from the main operations employed by the many levels of organizations. Mind control, intimidation, and torture, on par with satanic ritual abuse, are used by these doctors as a way of controlling the person. Scanning of MILABs for special projects is done on and in military bases. Some MILABs get filtered and are used throughout the Western world for carrying out dark operations and space applications. Some are mind-controlled to carry out covert operations that are made to look like an accident to the public and reported as such by the media. These are called sleepers. Negative alien agenda strategic invasion methods. We have discussed many times the main areas of mind control in the form of psychological and biological warfare used against humanity. The archontic deception strategy is employed to get humans to succumb to ownership by the invading species. The main strategy is to download the predator mind, which is their alien thought form, and hybridize the human body to accept these archontic behaviors as normal and socially acceptable behaviors. The more reptilian genetics you carry, the more acceptable it is to you to deceive, manipulate, take advantage of the less privileged, and even kill, murder, rape, and have sex with children. Total ownership of human beings as personal property and the domination of Earth resources are carried out using these primary methods. Negative Alien Agenda uses archontic deception strategy as a global policy for mind control enslavement that is enforced by mostly alien hybridized power elite. Human hybridization hosting programs for multiple reptoid species in underground and off-planet bases. MyLabs and related secret space programs cooperating with negative aliens that intentionally deceive, manipulate, and experiment on the public. Genetic modification, augmentation, pleomorphic diseases, and technological experimentation with the human genome. Alien machinery, implants, synthetic timelines, consciousness traps, psychotronic warfare technology, artificial intelligence created from genetic replication and hoarding of off-planet advanced technologies. Spiritual possession and multiple occupants of the soul to harvest life force for a variety of negative alien agenda purposes on and off planet. The law of consent. For purposes related to taking back control over one's own mind, body, and spiritual consciousness from the controller human and negative aliens who have abused the natural law of structure on this planetary body, we are discussing the foundation of the law of consent and its critical importance. The law of consent is important in order to protect your right to self-determination and to reclaim all contents and operations in your body consciousness as responding only to your personal authority through informed consent. Whether there are inorganic or organic components, such as implants, if they are connected to your body physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, they belong to you. Everything in your body and consciousness belongs to you. Every person has the right to command the authority of every function of the body to be directed only by the inhabitant of that body. Command all contents located in your personal consciousness to be operating only with your full informed consent and authority. Applying this action first in your 12th dimensional shield will allow for easier extraction process to identify and locate alien implants, entities, and spiritual oppressions that need to be removed from your consciousness bodies. What we hold as our intention in our personal thoughts is what we hold as our consent. Most humans are unaware that our thought forms, their vibrational quality and force, as well as the energetic consequence of the thought form substance created, have an impact on the self and others. This sum total of our entire energetic signature is what interfaces with the collective consciousness of the entire planetary body. What we observe today in the global scape is the result of every single person's individual thought forms that make up the collective consciousness body of the earth. When we pay attention to what is happening on earth, we can see the snapshot of the vibrational quality of the average collective thought forms, or what human beings are really thinking. What we think is what we create through intent, consent, and structure. The sum total of the energetic intention behind the accumulated thoughts that we have had throughout our lifetime is more important than the plain verbal language used to establish intent, consent, and authority. This means the energy signature of our heart is much more important than the actual words being said. Anyone can say words they do not actually mean. Anyone can be lying and deceiving towards others. The fact we think thoughts automatically under archontic deception, mind control programs, means we have given their thought form our consent, even without our conscious participation with intent. This is the main factor in the archontic exploitation of humans through mind control programming. By taking away knowledge of personal intent, they remove personal consent, which is inherent in the laws. When we have no awareness of where our intent and consent is being directed energetically, we are enslaved and accosted by spiritual oppression and possessions. Some of us are aware of these spiritual oppressions, while many humans are completely asleep and unaware that their body is a nest for negative spiritual energetic attachments. Inherited karmic consequences. Negative spiritual energetic attachments influence our mind, thought forms, emotional states, and belief systems, and are generally responsible for states of anxiety, depression, oppression, and hatred. When we are filled with negative spirits, they can make us feel sick and contribute to disease states. The more diseased the person's body, mind, and emotions become, the more soul-fragmented and spiritually sick the person is. This energetic consequence can be cumulative over many lifetimes or in the current identity and can exist in children or at any biological age. Many sick children have inherited the karmic miasma of their family of origin, and the genetic record of their DNA holds the energetic consequences of their parents and previous ancestral lines. When we do not comprehend the inherited karmic consequence of previous actions and do not change spiritually abusive patterns or clear spiritual oppressions, the energetic blockage manifests as disease patterns and other distortions for the individual. Ancestral spirits and familiar spirits. Negative spiritual influences can be attached to our energetic body through uncleared mental, emotional, or spiritual conflicts from past, present, and future lifetimes. These can be ancestral spirits or familiar spirits that attach to our body or spiritual parts. When these ancestors left their body, they were not spiritually freed, and thus cling to your body waiting to be released, cleared, and healed from their pain. Sometimes these ancestral or familiar spirits are connected to organs and enmeshed with spiritual body parts. This is what mismatched body parts may mean in the process of clearing the spiritual body. During the ascension cycle, many of us are here to finalize, complete, and end these imbalanced energetic cycles and their negative influences upon our genetic history, DNA record, astral recycling, and the patterns recorded in the family of origin. When we make progress with personal ancestral clearing, our clearing efforts will extend to cities, nations, tribes, and a global grid work for the entire human race. This means many of us have the spiritual purpose to clear unresolved conflicts and spiritual issues of our patriarchal, matriarchal, and ancestral bloodlines and their timelines. The process of healing the ancestral DNA is called genetic path cutting and is the main spiritual mission of many indigos and starseeds. Many starseeds incarnated purposely in different soul groups, known as the false parent family lines. In the early stages of spiritual awakening, all of us must address and clear ancestral issues, whether we are aware of this fact or not. Ancestral issues are inherited in our DNA record, and they will manifest as specific archetypes and patterns throughout our life experiences. When we are unconscious, we will repeat these same patterns many times verbatim, as they are directly inherited ancestral behavioral patterns. People are amazed to learn that these same ancestral patterns were present in relatives that they may have never even known existed until later in life. In the process of awakening, people feel urges to look up ancestral history and come to discover many similar patterns they share in the family, years after that ancestor is deceased. This is what is meant by the statement, "The sins of the father are inherited by the sons." This is a patriarchal slanted Bible verse, yet there is much truth in this statement. Until we are conscious beings, we are destined to repeat the same behaviors, the same patterns, and play out the same archetypes of our ancestral history. To heal our history, we must heal our ancestral past. Studying the behaviors and patterns of our birth and family of origin will give us accurate clues to what our soul purpose and spiritual clearing responsibility actually is. We choose our family of origin for many reasons, and the primary reason is to cleanse the ancestral bloodline that we embody through the biological record of the DNA we carry. Most starseeds chose very challenging bloodlines to incarnate into during this cycle. We understood our responsibility to heal that bloodline and that the support to complete the cycle would be available to us. As a result, many of us suffer from an orphan complex at various stages of our ancestral clearing and healing process. When we consciously participate and inquire on this process, we can make miraculous healing available not only to ourselves, but to our extended family of origin and throughout our bloodline history. This is the secret of the master number code of 777. 7 generations of bloodlines will be impacted in the past and future simultaneously when the ascending vehicle consciously participates with spiritual ascension to cosmic Christ consciousness. The now self is initiated to heal the entire bloodlines of past and future timelines from the present station of identity. This is the secret that the negative aliens are desperate to hide from humanity. Consciously participating. The sum total of our unconscious accumulative vibrational thoughts and spoken words will repress the person's ability to know that they have actually made a choice towards energetic consent. This means a person who is not consciously participating with giving personal consent and authority to their thoughts, makes the choice by default through their cumulative frequency resonance. This is an unconscious choice and not suggested. As an example, this means if you intentionally deceive another person, you have just given consent to a demonic spirit of the same vibration to attach to your spiritual body and deceive and manipulate you. Intentional lying is the seed of Satanism, which opens the door for this force to attach to you. The weighted average of the sum total of the individual's body, thoughts, emotions, actions, and behaviors equate to an overall frequency resonance. This overall frequency resonance is what decides intent, consent, and structure for that person. This places them in a vibrational timeline and exposes them to matching vibrations with other entities and spirit forces. This means consciously participating in disciplining and controlling our inner thoughts is extremely important. As these thoughts accumulate energies to form intent, consent, and authority made under the law. The laws of intent, consent, authority, and structure are purposely hidden from the public and manipulated by the negative alien agenda in order to control humans who are not aware of these energetic laws, therefore not aware that they can regain personal power and regain control over their spiritual and energetic consciousness through obeying these laws. Through the exploitation of these laws, the negative alien agenda and their false father gods have manipulated humanity to be in consent and authority with their negative spirit forces as intermediaries. They have been shaping human culture toward the predator mind. This is accomplished through the many mind control programs, false histories, and false realities that humans are given. Based on these many lies and deceptions, we have been told that predator mind thought forms are human in origin. Thus, naturally in the consent and authority with the same predator mind of the negative alien groups. When we are being subjected to deception and mind control, our spirit body and consciousness is easily invaded by an array of spiritual oppressions and negative energetic attachments. This is how the negative alien agenda controls humanity, by manipulation of consent in the mind, by removing intentional thoughts and making them automatic reactions in the unconscious mind. They are able to access and occupy the soul. This makes the negative alien false gods an intermediary source field or imposter spirit for many unsuspecting humans who cannot discern the difference between lies, deception, and the truth. When we cannot tell the difference between what is deception and lies, we are easily manipulated by negative spiritual forces that attach to us and harness our life force. Behavior is related to spiritual development. The more soul fragmented and damaged a person's energetic body is, the more distorted the thoughts and the more predatorial the behaviors. When a person is covered with ancestral spirits, entities, implants, and negative spirit forces, it creates either spiritual oppression or fragmentation. This can be observed simply through the person's negative behaviors, thoughts, and perceptions. When paying attention to people's behaviors and energies, while we are aware of the negative alien agenda and their archontic deception strategy, we can see very clearly who is possessed and being controlled by an entity. This can be seen in psychic vision or simply by watching the person's negative or fake behavior, body language, or their symmetry. If a person is possessed by an entity, one may feel a sense of dread, hatred, or negative energy coming out of that person's energy body. Many times the personality feels fake, unnatural, insincere, self-promoted, and even creepy. This is a forced identity and usually has possessions operating within that identity. Forced identities and mind slides. Mind control and mind slides are implanted structures that quantify as dead energy spaces and are used to filter soul energies through the harnessing of forced identities. A forced identity is a superimposed overlay that filters perception through an archetypal identity that is running an alien mind control program through a human body. Depending on the chakra energies and the DNA imprints they are looking to harvest, they direct the controlling entity to reinforce the archetypal ego pattern best suited to control that person. Through the chakra systems, they place archetypal mind filters that reinforce ego programs, and in some cases, implant false memories, thought forms, or holographic movies to manipulate beliefs and direct actions within the human. All of this is to gain access and control over planet Earth and the many levels of resources located here, including control over timelines and technology. They perpetuate lies about the extraterrestrial involvement and harness the collective quantic yield and individual life force, which is soul energies. These vital energies are comprised of the multidimensional collective human soul matrix, which so many have forgotten belong to the human being directly. When one has control over the thoughts of one's mind, one has control over the direction and actions of the physical body and all of its parts. One can therefore reclaim the soul energies. Whoever controls the mind controls the soul matrix. Mind slides are holographic inserts that trigger sensations in the neurological system that are designed to keep people ignorant and blind to what is happening to them. Many alien abductees have mind slides to deny their experience and bury it deep behind the walls of unconsciousness. When areas that are unapproved are exposed to the alien entity controlling or hosting the body, they will program the mind slide to activate when certain words, phrases, or codes are read or spoken. Sometimes, when people are injured in the body part, traumatized by suppressed alien abduction memories, they will relive that trauma experience. The mind slides are inducted into the human's neurological system, which activates mind control technology to pulse the brain's receiver. This can take the form of a mind control script. An example is thoughts that the abduction never happened, or it's your imagination, or having intense fears of going crazy. Or it plays images or movies in the mind of that person. Some of the symptoms of mind slides when exposed to unapproved words, such as alien abduction, negative alien agenda, reptilian, satanic ritual abuse, UFO, implants, MyLab, etc., are falling asleep or feeling drowsy. The nervous system is anesthetized. feeling an electrical zap or punch to the solar plexus, compulsion to leave the room and get away from the messenger or information, feeling irritated or excessively agitated, and inner or outer violence, compulsion to smoke cigarettes or self-medicate with drugs, resistance in the form of denial, aggressive reactions, labeling the information as ridiculous, hostile feelings generated to verbally attack the messenger. This is called victim-victimizer programming, evoking negative images or negative emotions to entirely reject the information, and corrupted dream state with extreme negativity or interference in the astral state through lucid dreams. In specific satanic ritual abuse targeted mind control, such as MKUltra or super soldier training, these techniques are designed to disassociate the person through repeated exposures to torture, terror, and drugs. The mind is fragmented and intentionally bound to demonic spirits that act as the guardian of that fragment of the personality. The mind slide may activate specific alternate personalities created in the victim to perform a variety of tasks while under possession or control of the alternate personality. Many times the person does not remember their actions. They have a time lapse or blackout. This programmable fragment or alternate is referred to as a sleeper. When a person has been intentionally mind-controlled or tortured to become a sleeper, they can be easily possessed and used to perform a variety of sordid actions or crimes. Reptilian entities specifically receive enjoyment from the explicit torture and suffering of human beings when they possess them to commit these sordid actions. These negative entities strive to create as much pain and anguish for the human being as possible, and to get that human to emanate that vibration of pain and anguish into the environment. Their goal is to engender negative feelings of emotional pain, depression, and hopelessness that leads the person to seek relief through addictive states. This is the cycle perpetuated with alien mind control and entity possession, which feed on these negative energies. Discerning spirits. This is why it's imperative to discern the quality of spirit and energetic forces that interact with us and impact our energies. Most people are unaware there are dark spirits that are assigned for specific purposes by the humans and non-humans who evoke them. We live in a multi-dimensional world with every kind of spirit force one could imagine. There are spirits of hate, spirits of rape, spirits of poverty, and spirits of pedophilia. These extremely negative spirits are created and used by the negative alien agenda to take advantage of and control humans through their vices. We do not want to communicate directly with these extremely negative spirits unless we are qualified to perform deliverance or spiritual transiting. This means we must be fearless and completely clear about our spiritual authority. Most of these collective forces of spirits were earthly humans once, who over time were bound to a consciousness theme from their own repeated actions of committing the same. It is important to comprehend that absolutely everything on the planet has some type of consciousness or spirit. When you observe it operating en masse in the world, then it means there is a type of consciousness spirit behind those impulses to action. There are dark spirits. There are truth and light spirits. These lower negative spirits are manipulated and embodied by many people. This is the nature of consciousness, so it is very important to discern the quality and nature of spirit forces. Imposter spirits or fallen angelics. An imposter is defined as any entity or human being that is saying words, making representations that it does not embody, nor comprehend, nor act in accordance with. Essentially, it is a liar that may twist kernels of truth. An imposter spirit is the Luciferian or Satanic spirit hierarchy, which promotes false light authority and anti-life architecture through deception, lies of omission, manipulation with malice to promote intentional harm, death, or destruction to serve its personal agendas. These belief systems are the basis of the negative ego and are manifested out of the predator mind of the reptilian Orion groups. Being incarnated into an enslaved reality deception without our true spiritual identity, humanity has been undergoing a severe identity crisis, unaware of our purpose, unaware of being interfered within our inner source connections. We were tricked into believing the imposter spirit values and purpose was one of benevolence and love for humanity, when its overall hidden motivation is to enslave and harm us. The imposter spirit has hidden itself inside our schools, governments, hospitals, careers, leadership, family members, things we hold most sacred, and finally, even inside of us. We believe this imposter spirit loved us and cared for us, and we are seeing that this is not really true. The imposter spirit is not capable nor equipped to know true love or benevolence towards life, towards children, towards humanitarian values. Demons are a part of the imposter spirits, which may have been either human or non-human, may also comprise those separated from their souls or discarnate spirits, which have never inhabited a human body. Demons may be regarded as material corporal beings, as they are lower spirit beings which are not inspirited by the breath of God and cannot exist in the higher celestial realms. Humans and non-humans can conjure these spirits and then become possessed by them and their material or negative nature, especially if they are not mentally clear and emotionally balanced. Many of the negative alien entities are embodied and exist with the imposter spirit hierarchies. Call out all deceiving Luciferian and Satanic forces to be cleared and removed from accessing your consciousness and light body. See the Ascension Glossary, Fallen Angelics, and Imposter Spirit for more information. Possession. Many unconscious human beings are totally unaware they are carrying dead energy. Displaced entities and negative alien implants are totally unaware they are soul disconnected and mind controlled to limit further consciousness expansion. In other terms, this is enslavement of the person without their consent. This is a form of possession in servitude or bondage to the imposter spirit. An imposter spirit can be Luciferian or Satanic spirits. This is how spiritual energetic enslavement is manifested, and it is common on planet Earth. If this persists, combined with continued destructive behavior to the self and others that are repeated in life patterns, the person becomes sucked into a density of painfully low self-esteem, phobias, fears, and addictions. Most of the time that will include layers of astral debris, displaced entities, impersonal elemental forces, and sometimes includes full demonic possession. Being possessed does not generally mean you are levitating off the bed or acting demonic. There is absolutely no shame or guilt applied to this state, unless the suffering person applies it from their own state of fragmented confusion. It is through the possession of one's body that the suffering, agony, and pain are greatly increased until this possession is removed and cleared from your person. There are a million different variations of possession possible. However, the only possibility to evict these possessions is to get clear within yourself and learn that you have the power to heal yourself and claim your energetic sovereignty and freedom. This is God sovereign free behavior. When one learns to create the space inside to communicate clearly and embody one's spiritual source through the cultivation of virtues, one can begin the road to personal freedom and permanent release of suffering and remove possessions. The study of virtues and God's sovereign free behavior is learned through the practices of the Law of One. To clear possessions, we have provided spiritual deliverance exercises that are provided on our website. Consciousness traps. It is important to help emphasize to one's mind the possibility and eventual fact that consciousness does not need the body to exist. Simply knowing that the consciousness exists after the death of the biology helps one retain dominion over personal consciousness and helps safe passage when leaving the body. Whether in sleep state or meditations, it is important to know and realize that there are many hyperdimensional pockets, trick windows, astral delusions, and consciousness traps that may look like or impersonate doorways to the higher light. These are called false white light traps or false ascension spaces. There are also spaces that are used as soul traps or consciousness traps, which are used to keep a person's consciousness stuck, like a hamster on a wheel, going in circles and not moving anywhere. This is why discernment and comprehension of how consciousness works and placing your value and attention on developing personal consciousness is so important. False white light and consciousness traps are like machinery. They are not fully sentient. Instead, they are like replicants or artificial intelligence, which may be cognized when one has developed sensory ability and feeling through heart consciousness. When one has a connection with the 12D shield, an open heart, and relationship with the spirits of Christ, you will feel the harshness of non-sentient or alien matrices immediately. They feel machined, artificial, metallic, sharp, and may feel or sound tinny like aluminum foil. When one is in active pursuit and dedication of expanding one's consciousness and knowing these consciousness traps do exist, you can avoid them. In some cases, you may even be a part of the gridwork teams asked to dismantle them to stop other souls from being trapped inside them. Consciousness traps are alien machinery created by the negative alien agenda to enforce recycling and control over the soul body. We can clear consciousness traps by calling them out and severing their artificial machinery connections into our light body. The false ascension matrix. The false ascension matrix, or FAM, is an inorganic alien technology that was installed in the astral plane and is primarily controlled in the higher sound field dimension of the fifth dimensional timelines. It is a false white light current that is sourcing and manipulated from the lower soul matrix dimensional realms. This false white light creates intricate webbing with many alien implants and bio-neurological mind control technologies, which are exerted upon the human soul body and mind through use of lower frequency wave manipulation of the human being. Through this larger webbing in the astral plane, it is possible to use holographic inserts and install software programs like Armageddon software that mind control human beings to generate and promote belief systems for fear, religion, and tyrannical control. It is a part of the consciousness suppression of humanity in this ascension cycle, which forced reincarnation into the lower realms of time fields on Earth. From the Guardian perspective, this is soul recycling to create worker slaves that are subservient to on-planet and off-planet archons. This is desired by the archons and negative alien agenda because of the power source that can be generated and then harvested from both the planetary body and the human electromagnetic energy source. As we are aware of the false ascension matrix, we can clear it out of the astral plane and remove its impact from our soul body. Black magic grids. Aleister Crowley was contacted in Cairo, Egypt in 1904 by negative gray reptilian aliens to begin his indoctrination into supporting the negative alien agenda. He was instrumental in infiltrating the secret societies and giving consciousness tools, rituals, and artifacts to the Illuminati. This began the human history of black ops, shadow government, and the military-industrial complex, which was sharing negative alien technology in exchange for human souls, human abduction, and genetic mutation experiments. In most cases, these souls were ritualized and bound in Thothean black magic grids to entrap them so they could be siphoned. The collective consciousness of these black magic grids were controlled and installed by the consciousness of the Atlantean teacher and solar lord or warden archetype Aleister Crowley, his mentor Thoth, and reptilian factions of negative aliens. Aleister Crowley was used as a hand puppet by reptilian overlords to rip interdimensional holes throughout the planetary field that are still used today by the invading species. Black magic is the manipulation of consciousness technology, the world of forces for service to self and negative ego purpose without regard for the informed consent or energetic consequence to others. There are many advanced levels of propagation of black magic. Black magic is a form of Satanism. Advanced satanic ritual abuse includes blood sacrifice, pedophilia, and sodomy, considered the path to the Typhonian tradition, used in order to manifest immortality for the human hybrids and people engaged with these negative alien forces. These people consider the negative alien forces much more powerful than Christos forces on the earth and have aligned themselves with the force of imposter spirits to sell their soul out and sell out other humans. Clear black magic, black magicians, and their black magic grids out of your body and out of the earth. Alien machinery and holographic inserts. For those of us in the Indigo and Crystal Star family, it is important to understand alien implants are artificial machinery used to target us for mind control, persecution, and victim-victimizer purposes. We have to become experts at psychological spiritual warfare being waged against us and stop playing into their mind games. The vulnerability is this collective viral program influencing or interfering with our personal, natural, bodily, and nervous system processes. Alien implants and their archontic deception behaviors contribute to disease, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Holographic inserts are like software programs installed into our light body, with false or real memories being programmed upon our consciousness for mind control purposes or DNA genetic manipulation. Holographic inserts are used to bend time and space and therefore manipulate timelines. Inserts are implanted into the consciousness layers through the frequency manipulation of the body's energy fields or light body. Scan your body for alien machinery and holographic inserts using the 12-dimensional shield to dissolve them. Please see the Hieros Gamos calibration and alien implant module free on our website for severe cases of victimization and psychotronic targeting. Clones. Military-grade alien technology and other alien machinery used by the negative alien agenda is designed to create clones of planetary inhabitants, human beings, through the process of soul capture technology and manipulating synthetic timelines. The upper echelon of the military may refer to this time travel technology as looking glass technology, giving homage to Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There, which is a novel by Lewis Carroll. This is a refractive light and image capturing technology while capturing souls, capturing animals, capturing nature spirits, whatever levels of capture that would mirror an exact replica of the item, person, animal in a holographic projection into another phantom dimension. This is exactly like understanding computer technology of a mirror site server. When one wants to have multiple copies or clones of the same website content accessible in many countries, they will create a duplicate of the original site and replicate its projection onto many internet IP addresses. This soul capture technology does exactly that. It captures those not soul connected, not using their soul, or innocent bystanders like an animal or mammal, and a negative form projection of their genetic signature is captured and projected into military gray alien technology siphoning devices into a phantom wormhole field to simultaneously power and feed the operation of black hole technology. Clear clones created in your image through return to rightful owner terminate all genetic harvesting and images made of your DNA without your consent. Negative form or shadow body. We have two potential realities coexisting within physical matter at different vibrational speeds that creates a strange phenomena projected out from the personal auric field called the negative form. Many of us may experience these dark aspects of our negative form surfacing so that we can integrate the polarities of its simultaneous existence in other space-time fields. When we are not confused and we can see what it is, we can clear it. In some cases, we will need to completely destroy its instruction set and send it back as raw materials to merge back with the God core. The negative form is a form of karma or miasma that is extracted as a splinter from our simultaneous incarnation where we had a trauma or event that could be used to manipulate the present time. The negative form is a series of artificial or dead light bodies that were used in our holographic image to recreate and usurp our genetic material by the controller forces. Some of these distorted bodies are from our fallen history and the astral body damage that ensued from the 2D, 4D split. The Black Sun and Belial program may hold contracts to our negative form and use it to manipulate or attach entities to us. Clear this spiritual oppression and terminate its access. See the negative form, 2D, 4D split, and shadow vortex in the Ascension Glossary. Black Sun programs. The Orion group is made up of extra-dimensional entities that are embodied as satanic forces. They have a predatorial ideology that uses females as slaves or breeders while seeking territorial dominion on other planets within their warring and killing culture. Their position in the negative alien agenda and its consortium of negative aliens is called the Black Sun Program. They are a predator force with a predator mind, which is responsible for creating much of the negative ego in humanity through mind control programming. They also introduced financial and debt enslavement to planet Earth through the banking cartels. The Black Suns are literally referred to as Black Suns from their DNA genetic lineage. The Black Suns have reversed their DNA from eons of inciting warring aggression in the universal timelines to a reverse 10 DNA strand, and from running a reversal life current which they use in the Iran Gate to feed off of. This is why they perpetuate the reversal 10D current on planet Earth, using the area they have control over in the Middle East, Iran and Iraq. They are only capable of existing in three-dimensional consciousness while in their body, yet they have access to 10 dimensions of consciousness field. They are primarily from the Satanic Class Network family, although they work and cooperate with the Luciferian families to control the planet and share the spoils of war. They cannot cellularly transmute their bodies in and out of stargates easily and use humans to do that, or rip open interdimensional portals. They access limited levels of biological immortality through their vampirism and siphoning of other living things, such as planet Earth. Terminate all Black Sun programs, entities, clones, and implants from accessing your body, DNA, and consciousness. Belial programs. Through the energetic enslavement of the Seraphim consciousness, the fallen angelics were bound to play out the program of the Luciferian rebellion as the sons of Belial. The negative alien agenda is attempting to force the planet to serve multiple invading species agenda through imposing synthetic and replicated time fields created under genetically reptilian-based, reversed, pair bond DNA extraterrestrials. This is carried out at the expense and life force of the human race and kingdoms under human domain. Many forms of alien machinery and militarized weaponry are used to accomplish this, such as holographically inserting many different alien implants in the human race as a mind control strategy. Sons of Belial, the Nibiru Anunnaki reptilians of the New World Order, are the crews of the 911 timeline agendas and have headquartered themselves in the 11th Stargate of the United Kingdom. These are the creators of the teeth-chomping technology of Nephilim Reversal Grid, or NRG. Comprised primarily of fallen Elohim genetic lines, this reversal network was a rebellion to the hybridization attempts of Lyran Elohim races, responsible in commissioning Nephilim races for genetic DNA hybridization healing. The failure of that program and the subsequent banishment of Nephilim and the killing of that race resulted in the Nephilim Wars. The Nephilim reversal grid was then placed in the United Kingdom to reverse all pair-bonded, hybridized genetics, especially any genetic material that was designed to unify or marry genetics in sacred marriage, which is the purpose of the Diamond Sun. The NRG is what promotes and transmits mind control related to sexual misery, misogyny, and many varieties of sexual aberrant behaviors in the masses. It is designed to broadcast hatred between men and women and to encourage the rape, brutality of children and women across the globe. Terminate all Belial programs, entities, implants from accessing your body, DNA, and consciousness. Spiritual deliverance. Those of us committed to the law of one to promote sovereignty and freedom for this planet and humanity have more grid and energetic support than we have ever had. If we have had possession, implant, and entity harassment, the following technique should offer relief with some level of commitment to the process. We must remember we have returned to this earth to master ourselves and master these entities and the negative energies here. This requires we learn exactly how these entities think, what their strategies are, where they came from, and how they infiltrated this planet. We are in a war over consciousness that requires we master the psychological, spiritual warfare being directed toward humanity. In many cases, this will require we directly experience implants, entities, psychic attack, and forms of alien aggression. We cannot heal the consciousness of our planet until we understand exactly how it became corrupted with the reptilian virus and synthetic alien machinery. Please have patience with the process and command your space as a God-sovereign free being. The Spiritual Deliverance Toolkit is on our website pages under Spiritual Deliverance, and the link can be found in this month's newsletter. Please only take what is useful for your spiritual growth and discard all the rest. Thank you for your courage and bravery to be a truth seeker. I am the cosmic sovereign law made manifest. I am God, sovereign, free. Until next, stay in the luminosity of your avatar, Christus Sophia, hard path. Please be kind to yourself and to each other with a loving heart. Until next month.